You're sitting there, phone in your hand, checking the last seen status for the 10th time in an hour. Your chest feels tight. Your heart skips a beat every time a notification pops up, and you're secretly terrified that today is the day she realizes she can do better. You've become a prisoner to her moods. If she's happy, you're high. If she's cold, your whole world collapses. This isn't love, man. This is a slow-motion suicide of your masculinity. You've traded your throne for a seat at her feet, hoping that if you're good enough, if you're nice enough, or if you sacrifice enough of yourself, she'll stay. But here's the cold, hard truth. The more you fear losing her, the faster you're actually pushing her away. Women have a biological radar for desperation. They can smell the "please don't leave me" energy through a text message. By being afraid to lose her, you've already lost the most important thing, the respect she needs to feel attracted to you. If you're tired of feeling like a replaceable option, if you're done with the anxiety eating you alive every time she acts distant, then pay attention. We're about to deconstruct the beta trap and rebuild you into the man who doesn't just win the girl, but becomes the man she's terrified of losing. The biggest lie you've been sold is onitis, the idea that this specific woman is the only soulmate in a world of 8 billion people. It's a scarcity trap designed to keep you weak. When you believe she's your only option, you start playing defense. You stop being the leader and start being the pleaser. You tolerate disrespect, you ignore your own boundaries, and you let your goals rot because you're too busy monitoring her temperature. Realize this: she is a guest in your life, not the architect of it. The moment you make a woman the center of your universe, the universe begins to collapse, because a woman's attraction is built on the tension of not quite having you fully tamed. If you're always there, always available, always worried, you've killed the mystery. You've become a predictable, boring safety net. To never be afraid again, you have to embrace the abundance mindset. This isn't about being a player or a jerk. It's about the internal realization that your value is independent of her presence. If she leaves tomorrow, your empire still stands. If she walks away, your mission doesn't stop. When you truly feel that in your bones, your body language shifts, your voice deepens, and suddenly, the power dynamic flips. She starts looking at you and wondering, why isn't he chasing me? What does he know that I don't? Now let's talk about the investment gap. Most guys are over-investing like they're trying to buy a heart that isn't for sale. You're sending the long paragraphs, buying the gifts, and clearing your schedule the second she snaps her fingers. You think you're showing love, but she sees low market value. In the world of high-value dynamics, interest is earned, not given away for free. You need to match her energy, never exceed it. If she gives 20%, you give 20%. If she pulls back, you don't lean in, you pull back further. This creates a vacuum. Human psychology dictates that we value what we have to work for. If you make it too easy, you make yourself worthless. You need to be a high-stakes man, a man who has boundaries so firm that crossing them results in his immediate cold departure. Most men bark but never bite. They threaten to leave but stay when she gives them a breadcrumb of affection. That's why she doesn't fear losing you. She knows you're addicted to her. You have to be willing to lose her to keep her. The day you are genuinely okay with walking out that door and never looking back is the day you become invincible. You need to understand the evolutionary hierarchy. Women are biologically wired to seek a force, a man who provides stability and direction. When you act out of fear, you are essentially telling her, I am weaker than you, and I need your validation to survive. That is a massive sexual turnoff. It triggers an evolutionary alarm in her head that says, this man cannot protect the tribe because he can't even protect his own emotions. To flip this, you must return to your mission. Your career, your fitness, your brotherhood, and your legacy must come first. Always. When a woman sees that she is secondary to your purpose, she finally feels safe to be feminine. She stops trying to lead or test you because she realizes you are a mountain that doesn't move for her whims. This is where you win. You win by becoming the VIP of your own life. If she wants to be in the VIP section, she has to follow the rules and bring value. If she brings drama or disrespect, she's escorted out. No second chances for the same mistake. Stop checking her social media. Stop analyzing her likes. Stop asking her, where do we stand? These are the actions of a man who is drowning. Instead, start investing that obsessive energy back into yourself. Go to the gym until your muscles scream. Build that business until the bank account looks like a phone number. Master a craft until you're the best in the room. When you are a man of high competence and high status, fear of loss evaporates because you know you are a rare commodity. High-value men are the ones who are scarce, not beautiful women. There are millions of pretty faces, but very few men with ironclad discipline, emotional stoicism, and a clear vision. Once you realize you are the prize, the anxiety disappears. You start to look at her not as someone you need, but as someone you choose to share your excellence with. And trust me, when a woman feels that shift, when she realizes you don't need her, she will do everything in her power to make sure she never loses you. Subscribe to this mindset because the world wants you weak and compliant. It wants you to be a nice guy who finishes last and pays the bill for a woman who isn't even attracted to him. We don't do that here. We build kings, we enforce boundaries, we prioritize the mission. If you want the deep dive blueprints, the psychological triggers, and the attraction secrets that most men will never know, get my book in the description. It's time to stop being the one who waits by the phone and start being the man the world waits for. The fear is gone. The game is yours. Now go out there and lead. Let's get real for a second. Most of you are out here playing a game where the rules were written to make you lose. You're terrified of the silence. You send a text. She doesn't reply for 6 hours, and you're already spiraling. You're checking her Instagram stories to see if she's out, who she's with, if she's active. That's not love, bro. That's a drug addiction, and she's the dealer. You're hooked on the hit of validation she gives you once a week just to keep you orbiting. If you want to win, you have to kill that version of yourself. You have to become the man who thrives in the silence. When she pulls away, most guys lean in. They double text. They ask, "Is everything okay?" They try to fix it. No. When she pulls away, you disappear into your work. You go dark. You don't punish her. You simply stop rewarding her lack of effort with your attention. Attention is the currency of the modern world, and you're handing yours out like it's worthless. The second you stop being her emotional safety net, her psychology flips. She realizes that her ghosting didn't break you. It didn't even faze you. That's when the fear of loss shifts from your chest to hers. She starts wondering if you've found someone else, or better yet, if you finally realize that you're too good for the game she's playing. You need to understand the concept of the frame. In every interaction, there is a dominant frame and a submissive one. If you're constantly reacting to her, her moods, her late replies, her tests, you are in her frame. You're a guest in her reality. To never be afraid again, you must invite her into your reality. Your life should be a fast-moving train. It's got a destination, it's got a purpose, and it's got a standard of conduct. She can hop on and enjoy the ride, but she doesn't get to drive, and she definitely doesn't get to slow the train down. If she starts acting up, you don't argue. Arguments are for people who are equal in desperation. A high-value man doesn't argue. He simply removes the benefit of his presence. You have to be willing to next a woman the moment she becomes a liability to your peace of mind. I know that sounds cold, but look at the alternative. Years of being a validation junkie, begging for a crumb of affection from someone who doesn't respect you. You think she wants a man she can walk over? No. Deep down, she's disgusted by your flexibility. She wants a man who is an unmovable object. Someone who says, "I love having you here, but I don't need you here." That "don't need you" energy is the most intoxicating thing you can offer. Stop being the nice guy ghost. You know the type. The guy who's always available, always understanding, always waiting. You're being a simping placeholder while she looks for the man who actually makes her blood boil with excitement. And that man? He's the guy who doesn't give a damn about her feelings when they clash with his principles. He's the guy who has pre-selection. Other women want him, and she knows it. If you don't have other women in your life, you better act like you have a million things to do that are more important than her. Because you should. If a 20-minute phone call is the highlight of your day, you've already lost. Your highlight should be hitting a new PR, closing a deal, or mastering a skill. When your life is full, you don't have the mental bandwidth to be afraid of losing one person. Scarcity breeds anxiety. Abundance breeds confidence. You need to build a life so stacked that losing a woman feels like losing a passenger on a cruise ship. It's a bummer, but the ship keeps sailing to paradise regardless. Let's talk about Shay T tests. She's going to test you. She's going to be late. She's going to mention another guy. She's going to cancel plans at the last minute. Most guys fail these tests because they get emotional. They get angry or they get hurt. Both are weak responses. The correct response is indifference. If she cancels, you don't ask why. You don't say, "Oh, maybe next time." You say, "Okay." And then you don't contact her for 3 days while you're out having the time of your life. You don't post revenge stories on IG. That's for children. You just live. When she sees that her power moves have zero effect on your emotional state, you become a mystery. You become the apex in her mind. She realizes she can't control you, and paradoxically, that is exactly what makes her want to belong to you. You're not a project she can fix or a puppy she can train. You're a man. The winner's mindset is about realizing that you are the architect of your own legacy. Every hour you spend worrying about her is an hour you stole from your future self. Look in the mirror. Are you the man you promised your 10-year-old self you'd become? If the answer is no, then you have no business being in a relationship anyway. You're using her as a distraction from your own failure. That's why you're afraid to lose her. Because if she leaves, you're left alone with the man you've neglected. Fix the man and the fear dies. Build the empire, and the women will fight for a seat in the throne room. It's time to stop playing defense and start playing offense. You win by being unattainable even when you're standing right in front of her. If you want the full attraction secrets to flip the script and make her the one chasing you, grab the book in the description. Stop being a spectator in your own life. Become the man they can't ignore. The mission starts now. No more beta excuses. Only results. Only the win. Look at your hands right now. Are they shaking because you're waiting for a text? Or are they steady because you're building something that's going to outlast any temporary fling? Real talk. The man who checked his phone every 3 minutes just died. Leave him in the dirt where he belongs. He was a ghost, a shadow, a nice guy who traded his soul for a smile that wasn't even real. Today, you're burying that version of yourself. You're stepping into a cold, hard reality where you are the sun and she is just a planet orbiting your gravity. If she stays, she gets the warmth. If she drifts away, she freezes in the dark. It's that simple. The world wants you to stay in that beta trap. It wants you to be a consumer, a pleaser, and a victim of your own emotions. But you've seen behind the curtain. You know that fear of loss is just a ghost story we tell ourselves when we don't have enough going on in our own lives. You win the second you stop trying to win her and start winning at being you. When you look in the mirror and realize that the man looking back is the most dangerous, disciplined, and dedicated version of himself, the fear of losing a woman becomes a joke. Why would a king be afraid of losing a subject who doesn't know how to follow the rules of the kingdom? This is the end of the anxiety era. From this moment on, you don't chase, you attract. You don't beg, you select. You don't fear the goodbye, you welcome the space it creates for something better. If you're ready to graduate from the struggle to the standard, the path is right in front of you. Grab the Attraction Secrets book in the description if you want to turn these principles into a weapon. Don't just watch this and go back to your old habits. Own your SHT. Enforce your boundaries. Protect your peace. The game is over, and for the first time in your life, you're the one holding the controller. Walk out that door, hit the gym, build that empire, and never, ever let a woman's mood dictate your mission again. I'm done talking. It's time for you to start doing. I'll see you at the top, or I'll see you from it.